Yo, welcome to episode 24 of Directly to You, a Redirect podcast. I am AJ of Redirect, and this week I was joined by Jake Steinberg, someone you all likely at least know of, but for me is a relatively new friend in the space. We initially connected over our passion for Pokemon and our shared desire to see its mainline titles evolve into something worthy of its world and status as a franchise. So it felt right to have him on to talk about the new Pokemon Legends ZA Mega Dimension DLC. We also parsed through interesting tidbits from Nintendo's financial briefing, ranted about Nintendo's mobile app strategy, and more. On to the episode. So much happened this week. So much. And I wasn't expecting it. I hit you up, a week and a half ago, 2 weeks ago? And was like, yo, you should do this show. And you told me that you had to do it on a specific date. I was like, I don't know how that's going to work because this is like very news based. But then we proceeded to get a bunch of news. So there's a lot that we have to talk about here. And we could jump around as we care, because like the initial big news was like Nintendo's earnings things. And I'm sure we don't have that much to say. Like Nintendo made a lot of money. Cool. But there are like implications to it that's like, all right, hey, maybe they'll do more of this, less of this. This game gets support, this one doesn't get support. So let's skip through all of that initially and talk about what just got announced. The new Pokemon stuff. Pokemon Mega Dimensions DLC detailed, mostly. Because I assume there's still more to talk about. We do at least know that they're going to reveal more Mega Evolutions on, I think they said the 16th?
Right.
But this is what we know so far. Explore hyperspace with Hoopa. Visit a strange new dimension. Just when Team MZ's efforts seem to have restored peace to Lumio City, something strange begins to happen. Mysterious distortions start forming all around town. Amid this, you'll meet a mysterious young girl named Ansha, who is accompanied by the mischievous Pokemon Hoopa. And that whole thing is like the MacGuffin for us to get these donuts, which lets us open these portals to hyperspace, and stronger Pokemon are there. They're over level 100. That's crazy, right?
Yeah. Sure. Yeah, sure. Big number.
Bigger number.
Yeah.
So what are your thoughts when you initially saw this, the reveal for this?
I'm enthusiastic about this DLC. I think that getting more Pokemon in general is fun. This game, I'm really enjoying playing it online, experimenting that way. So kind of feeding into that, I think, is good. The framing of the main content of the DLC appears to be run-based. It appears to be, some might say,
Like a
roguelike
roguelike
in nature.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that definitely, I'm curious about that. But I am maybe a little sour on all of these video games post-launch coming out with their roguelike mode at this point. And I wonder if the content is going to feel meaningful and salient, or if it's going to feel like okay, imagine this for me. Do you ever get the sense sometimes that like you are not deciding who wins, like the numbers are deciding who wins in games?
Yes, absolutely.
It's okay, yeah, and something about this, like going beyond level 100, it's like, oh, okay, so the difference between me beating this Pokemon that I find in hyperspace is whether or not before the run even started, I gave my guys the right donut.
Yeah.
It's like, I don't know if that's what I really like about especially this battle system.
I was going to say that's interesting because in this game, numbers feel meaningless. Like coincidentally, I just finished all the side missions. I'm done. I'm still playing the game because I'm doing ranked stuff and testing around and messing around with that. But the last side mission that I did, excluding the Diancie one, which is objectively the last one that I did. Right. But the last one in my heart was the Pikachu one, where you got to beat the kid with the strongest Pikachu or whatever. I just grabbed a random Pikachu in my box. I leveled them up with the remaining candies that I had to like level 40. And then I taught him moves that are like, I can counter this Pikachu. I know type matchups. I know how to avoid things.
Yeah,
I was 20 levels below this Pikachu, and I just skill diffed him. I just was like, you idiot, you did dig at the wrong time. I'm going to time my dig to beat your dig. And then when you did, because you're faster than me, you're going to get yours back. I'll double team to avoid that dig. And then I'll dig
double
again.
Team was my strat. Double team was how avoiding the dig with double team was good. I also was running, I think, Reflect on my Pikachu. I was trying to keep that.
My set was, I had Dig, I had Play Rough because it was other physical non-electric move, and then I had
interesting.
And then I had Double Team, and I thought about doing Protect, but I was like, nah, because I could have just been like, at this point, because again, it was the last thing that I did. I had plenty of candies to like, or I could have grinded more or did whatever I wanted to get to the higher level. But I did this on stream, and I am stubborn. So I was like, no, I refuse actually to let the game force me to use numbers to win. I'm going to skill diff this because this game now gives me the ability to do that. My question here is, how much will these numbers matter? Do they matter?
Dude. Yeah, I kind of think that they matter. And I think like, even if they don't matter, I think it's almost like too easy of a way out, right? Because I think that in the way that I'm imagining this, it's like, you know, training up your Pokemon and making them stronger and getting them to a certain level. Like, okay, I could see how that is kind of like part of your ongoing meta narrative as a player. There's something about you give them the donuts, and for this run, they are this strong. That is like feeling a little not great in my imagination.
Yeah.
But I am willing to see it through and give it a chance because I don't know if you know this about me. I like love roguelikes. It's like one of my favorite things.
I was not aware of this.
Yeah. I'm like a huge roguelike fan. So the fact that this is even there at all is like initially kind of speaking to me. But I just like don't know if they have it in them to like really nail what it is that I love about roguelikes. Aside from the level, there are a couple of things that I do think are kind of interesting here, where there are these different screenshots where you can see like, oh, it's not just your level. You can do a run where your like ice
EVs, there's like a stat spread for some of the
there's a stat spread, and there's also you can like focus on different types. So like you will take less damage from steel type moves, or you will do more damage when you use ice moves. And I'm like, okay, this is actually kind of fun, and I wonder if they could like set something up where we don't really know what these runs are like. If you're just in a wild zone trying to last as long as you can, that's fine, but there needs to be a level of mid-run progression. And what I mean by that is like a boss. There needs to be like a thing you're trying. Because if you have a limited amount of time, then what I want the challenge to be is like, I need to do this before the time is up. And if the challenge is just like, do as much as you want or as much as you can before the time is up, then that's like not feeding the thing that I like about the roguelike, which is like I'm going to get a little further. I see. I need to go in this way. Like this time I need to prepare this way. So if they can like nail that aspect of it, I think that this would be really fun. I think my favorite thing about this DLC though, in total, is that, man, sometimes these Pokemon games love to come out with post-launch content and they go, oh, you've got your full team from the campaign. Well, maybe just catch new guys. Like they're not going to, oh, sorry, you know, and I'm glad that at least with this, it's like the narrative of the trailer was that Mega Emboar and Mega Feraligatr and Mega Meganium got killed. And they were like, oh, we're you know, that's probably the strongest Pokemon for a lot of people who played this game. So to send that message and be like, this is for your strongest guys right now are not ready for this. I actually think that is like much better framing for post-launch content than a lot of Pokemon games tend to do.
Right. I agree. The one thing about this that I'm like holding out for, like with co-op? With the yes, because
co-op. Yes.
So with Pokemon Sword and Shield, to this day, I actively play this video game almost every week at this point on
for the
streams.
Dynamax Adventures.
Yes, because we are shiny hunting. So the initial framing of this stream challenge was all of my friends that actively do, we call it Smash Tuesdays, which is barely Smash at this point. The second half of the stream, we grind for shiny Zygarde because we wanted to get all four of us get a shiny Zygarde before Legends of the Year came out. Everybody but my friend Trev got a shiny Zygarde, and ironically, he is the one that plays this video game the most. He does Dynamax Adventures on his lunch break. It like would just work because he works at home. He works from home a lot. So he would grind that out, and the game just hates him because I don't know, he gets a lot of shinies in other games. So the game's like, no, we refuse. But now I've like kicked the ball down the field a little bit and be like, hey, technically we got DLC. We can go back. We can continue to play until like we could do it until DLC or maybe until Pokemon Home, because now the meme is initially, again, before the game came out, the meme was like, oh, we transformed the Pokemon Scarlet and Violet and we do a picnic. Can't do that. Really can't do it. So now the meme is we transfer them to this game and we do a 4-player battle royale situation with just our Zygardes.
Dude, I want that so bad. The ability to go in and like do a run with a friend would like catapult this forward for me. And I do think that I think we have some hope. There is one shot in the trailer. This is so stupid, but it looks like they're getting ready to do like a rogue mega battle type situation. Yeah. And typically in the story mode, it was you and a buddy. It was two people. It was like, oh, somebody person. Yeah. And then in this screenshot, it's you, Tawny, and Corinna. So now it's 3, and I'm like, oh, wait a second. I'm like, well, so we could do more than 2.
Even the Team MZ member had me being like, wait, this was designed to do with more people.
The whole time.
Like, hold on.
And dude, how fun would those rogue mega battles be? Actually doing them with a buddy online, like a level 200.
Sick. It would be so sick because it's like a raid in a regular video game where it's like, hey, and it's not just about the like playing with your friend. It's like you're playing with your friend. It's this like heightened challenge and you get something cool for doing it. You know, it's not like we wouldn't like, yes, we're currently having fun doing the Dynamax Adventures, but it wouldn't be as fun if we didn't have the carrot on the stick of like, we could get that shiny Zygarde. And even when we don't get the shiny Zygarde, we might get a different random shiny, you know? So like, if there's some sort of equivalent like that, where it's like, you could do the 4-player like rogue mega evolutions and we do these like timed, exclusive rogue mega evolution situations like they used to do, and that could be a second. I don't know if they want to tie it to Switch Online, but if they didn't want to tie it to Switch Online, that could be a secondary way to be like, hey, you don't want to engage with the competitive side, you could do PvE and get your Mega Greninja by defeating this level 200 Mega Greninja in a rogue mega battle raid.
Man, that kind of stuff like appeals to me so much. There's a the kind of, I think, really end game battle with Zygarde that you do in the base game. After you've beaten everything, after you've seen the credits.
Right.
And it's like this 3-stage rogue battle.
Yes.
And it's like that to me was one of the most fun like single player battles I've ever done in a Pokemon game. Yeah. I thought that was a blast. And it showed to me that they were willing to, you know, in that battle, Zygarde actually does not Mega Evolve. It's just Zygarde. So they are willing to let these legendaries have a battle in that setting and kind of apply different rules to it. So I think like there is nothing stopping them from in this DLC having an array of legendary Pokemon that you can fight in this way, in the same way that you did those Dynamax Adventures. You are with your friend, you catch them at the end. And something I would really love to see in this is right now in the game, when you are using an item in the middle of a fight, the game pauses. And I actually think it would be awesome if when you're playing multiplayer,
it didn't
like
pause.
Dark Souls style. I think that would add a layer. That would add a layer.
Right.
Yeah, I think that'd be really fun actually. So,
yeah, you got to tell your friends like, yo, cover me. I need a hyper potion right now.
got a max revive Emboar. Hold.
Yes. I would be super down for that. And I'll say like those rogue mega battles, like especially the Zygarde one that you just mentioned. And this might be like just me because like I've since watched other friends that are like not as like in on like the stats of it all and like optimizing and all that stuff. Like I took it as a personal challenge to be like, I'm just going to beat this with just my Feraligatr. initially I didn't even think that the game was going to let me mega evolve more than like for each phase, so I didn't mega evolve, and then I got to a point where like, all right, I'm getting to the complete form, and I need to mega evolve at some point because I don't have the facilities to beat him just with my Feraligatr. And I had like a whole flow chart. I was like, all right, we're going to Aqua Jet in, we're going to hit him with a liquidation, and then we're going to flip turn out and swords dance, and that was the flow chart. And that worked.
Well, and that was so funny too, because I think something that I'm sure you noticed as well is that in the different phases of that fight, he behaves differently. So there's like the second phase where he just sticks to the middle, and it's like, oh, you can kind of play him a little bit. This is a little easier now. You can kind of play him a little bit differently, but you really have to make sure that you don't get hit by like a whirlwind or whatever that move was. That like crazy wind attack that hit like several times, because that killed all of my guys. So yeah, no, those battles were really fun. I think it was just nice to have Pokemon battles in a game that were an extended sequence, because like how many times, dude, 2 attacks,
yes,
you're done. You know what I mean?
2
like
attacks.
It was just fun to like have some drama, have some like gameplay.
I think the like most enlightening thing for people that are not Pokemon, I'm not even want to say Pokemon fans, because I think a lot of Pokemon fans that do understand the system love the system because they're usually only good at this. That's like the through line. It's like if you're good at Pokemon, chances are you're probably not good at another game. And if you are good at another game, you probably would prefer that other game more often than not. But with this, it has shown my friends that are not like super Pokemon fans that's like, oh wait, I was like actually using Double Team and Swords Dance, and it's crazy how much better it makes it. You know, it's like this game requires you to do that stuff, even if it's just for like to kill down the cooldown. Like even if you're over leveled, it's like, all right, well, I click Flamethrower. Now what? Like I gotta sit here and wait for Flamethrower, or am I going to like Calm Mind?
It's funny. Yeah, I know you and I are positioned towards this game very similarly, because we play a lot of different games, and I think play a lot of games similar to each other. And I'm sure I'm sure my experience mirrors yours. I think that the conversation surrounding this game that we are kind of like forced to participate in has been incredibly frustrating.
In what way?
I find that there is a protectiveness over Pokemon and what is strategic and what isn't strategic. And I find that the way in which people talk about the combat in this game to be largely selling it short. It just feels very similar to, I mean, funnily enough, it feels similar to Smash Brothers, because Smash Brothers, I agree. Like the way people engage with it, if they're not good, is, you know, I pick Ganondorf, I flick yellow stick, I win, you know? But if you fight somebody that actually understands Smash Brothers, you're not touching me with that yellow stick. Not a single time. I'm going to 0 to death you 3 times in a row, GG, shake my hand. Right? That's how this game is, where it's like, if you understand the combat and you know that it's about positioning and timing and like more than just the like number, like math fight of like, I know your weakness, I have big number with your weakness, you lose. In this game, it's like, nah, I have big smiley face, so you're not gonna hit me. I can time my protects, so GG's. It's a funny thing, right? I was reading a friend's review, and they were talking about one of their conclusions was, they were like, yeah, you know, at the end of the day, I just got too strong and I used super effective attacks and all of the other stuff didn't matter. And anytime I read somebody come to that conclusion, I always just want to be like, let's battle.
Yeah, exactly.
Let's go. Let's battle. Because show me it doesn't matter.
I say all that, but I support the ability to do that. I think like, of course, before this game came out, my whole argument was like, you guys can have what you want. Like the Pokemon fans that are not good at games, you can still have that. And we can still have a more engaging exactly. We can have a more engaging battle system that like the skill floor is very close to where it currently is, if not lower, arguably. But the skill ceiling is what I am concerned about, and also the fun of it all. Like I want to actually have fun playing a Pokemon game. Like whenever,
can you imagine, dude?
Whenever people talk about Pokemon and the value of it, they get real like esoteric. It's like the game's fun because of the experience that we have and the teams that we build. And it's like, nah, that's all BS. Like the game isn't fun. It's not fun. You just think that your Charmander's cute and you feel accomplished when you turn him into a Charizard. And
I'm right there with you. It is a success simulator.
Yes.
And that fools people. And it's such a funny thing because it's like what you said about having that skill floor still be low. I think sometimes people rewrite what Pokemon games are because the fact of the matter is that there has never been a Pokemon game where the single player campaign was not mind-numbingly easy. And anybody saying otherwise is lying through their teeth. And let me just say, the single player campaign in this game, it is easy, but in the main games, people go, oh, but I know that Pokemon is really strategic because some other people out there are playing VGC, which means that I am allowed to go, actually, it's a really complex strategic game. You would never get it. And it's crazy because this game is just as strategic as the main games.
The thing is, like, I'd argue it's more strategic.
It's definitely more. It's definitely more.
They kind of like nerf it by making the only competitive mode a battle royale, so it really like you can just like camp and be opportunistic and win that way. But beyond that, it's like
that's how I win, baby.
Most of the strategy in this game is the same as the other game, but you also have to think about your timing and your positioning. You never had to think about that before, ever. So it's like, yes, I got to think about my IVs, my EVs, my moveset, the Pokemon that I use and how they synergize together. But then I also have to actually be good at something. It's not just like this flowchart that is like, click this move, then click this move. Like, that feels great for me personally.
And I gotta say, I even really, something I've grown really attached to in this game is the picking of 3 team members.
Yes.
And I find that to be a undersold, compelling part of this game. And you don't know like who your opponent has. Something that always like infuriates me about VGC is the you go to do a battle against your friend and like the game goes, here are your teams. It's like, no, dude, no. Haven't you ever seen the cartoon where they've got all the little Pokeball symbols and you're like, who's he going to throw out next? And it's like a moment. It's like a moment. There's drama. And dude, the drama of every single match in this game, the first thing that happens is you throw out your first Pokemon and you look at the other 3 and you go, who are you? Who are you? Who are you? Oh, okay,
immediately
let's go.
I turn to my right. I'm like, who is gunning for me? Because I know they're trying to go for the easy kill. And then I have to look across because I know that they're waiting for somebody to try to get the easy kill to swoop in and third party it. So yeah, I agree.
And you only have 3 switches. You only have the 3 switches, and you're like thinking about managing the health bars. You're like, oh, I want to get the most out of each one of my guys, but I don't want to die. It's like, oh man, dude, I really, really like it. And it just frustrates me when I see these arguments about it where they're like, well, in the campaign, I was able to steamroll. I'm like, yeah, because it's Pokemon. You're always able to steamroll. Like that is not an argument. So
I think it's a terrible argument, and I think it's always been a terrible argument. Because me personally, we've had debates about this, where it's like I never really approached Pokemon like that, and like it has like inadvertently become not hard, but it has inadvertently become more challenging because of the way I play the game and because of the things that I refuse to do. So it's like for me, it's like these aren't my guys. You know, it's like there's some people that I like. Usually, my guy is my starter. That's probably the only Pokemon that I never really swap out, and the older I get, the less that's true. But for the most part, I'm like, oh, I just call him. I'm going to use it. It's like how we talked about the anime a little bit. How Ash is like, yo, Professor Oak, I'm going to this gym. I could really use my Krabby right now. That's how I play the game. I'm like, yo, I just caught a Hawlucha. I want to use him in this in my next promotion match. That's who I'm using. This is my 3. This is my 6. So I end up being vastly underleveled. And in doing the series that I'm doing, where I'm replaying all the old games, which I just went back to the Shield DLC, and I hate everything about it. I hate it so much. I would be so sad if Gen 10 is just status quo again. I'll be profoundly sad if we go back. I mean, I think that there's a high chance that we will, but I also do think that there is a chance that we won't, and I'm hanging to that.
It's tough, man. Let me ask you. Because I think something that people don't quite understand that are maybe too deep on Pokemon is that like there are complexities or nuances to this battle system that, like, I don't know, sometimes I see this suggestion of like, oh, you could just make a game where you can switch to whichever battle system.
Yeah, I saw people saying that. And no, rip the Band-Aid off.
Thank you.
Rip the Band-Aid off.
Like people just I feel like people just like don't understand video games sometimes.
They don't.
I'm like, you understand that they're like systems here. You can't just go, oh, different video game, you know?
Yeah, no, I think that there is a chance that they're just like, all right, GG's, goodbye, we're done. We're done doing the turn-based thing. I could see a world where they do that.
I agree.
It just the only thing that I'm kind of like, I don't know, is if they'll do it off rip. Because I say rip the Band-Aid off.
I know.
They're not a rip the Band-Aid off kind of company. They want to peel it back. They want to say, all right, I don't want to hurt you. I want to make sure you don't lose any hairs when we make this transition. We're making the transition. It'll take us 4 generations, but we're going to get there.
I think our best chance, to be honest with you, is that there is a switch where you can make it turn-based, but literally making it turn-based, all it does is like, it's all the moves are the same, all the shit is the same. You just don't move and you don't have to worry about it.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? Like, like it would be clear that the real version of the game would be the moving.
It's like turning on auto steering in Mario Kart. Like it'll
literally,
be that.
dude. Yeah, literally, yeah.
I
think that, and I got to tell you, I think there's a chance. ZA kind of turned me into a believer because I was like, okay, you know what the thing is about this is that you can play this by just standing still and commanding attacks if you really want to.
Yeah.
And I don't know. So my one thing though is that I do think, not that I'm Mr. Prediction guy, but this game is so thematically focused on the balance between people and Pokemon that I do wonder if the next time real-time battles occur, if you are just controlling the Pokemon. I think that there is a chance that the next time we see this, you like throw the Pokeball out and your perspective changes to them. And now you are just doing it directly, especially since we kind of scaffolded that with that stupid machine with the DLC. Yeah. So I'm like, I think that would actually be a cool wrinkle because it would let them advertise the combat in the new game in a way that's like very obviously like, oh, you were not doing this in ZA, and you know, it'll show well, while still kind of like being able to take all of the lessons from that game. Because I kind of like if you could like visualize this like an arena from Sword and Shield, the trainers like way out in the back and you're just the Pokemon there, like kind of Smash Brothers style where Pokemon trainers in the back. I actually think that'd be really cool.
Yeah, I think my thing with that, I definitely think either way, this battle system is not the final thing, because I like bare minimum I think the casting time thing sucks. It's kind of like baby's first action video game. It's like it almost turns it into a turn-based game where it's like I'm doing the move.
When you say that,
I'm doing the move.
Do you mean like when you do like Hydro Pump and it takes a long time?
Yeah.
Okay,
but it's not even just Hydro Pump. Even friggin' Aqua Jet has the like wheel. All right, Aqua Jet, I'm there. And every move gives you a level of warning that I think is excessive. I think every game,
I think I like it. I think I like it in this game.
In this game, it works. For sure. In this game, it works.
In this game, it works. They're trying to do something where there's like, you and the Pokemon are separate enough that everything is like a command. Everything is like that's a move you want? Okay, let me, okay, hold on.
Exactly.
Okay, you know what I mean? And I kind of like, oh, I see the vision. Right. But
the execution just not fully there for me. It's like, I get what they're trying to do and it works for what this is. But I think that it feels real training wheelsy to me. I think that there's a more skill focused way to accomplish the same thing. Personally,
I mean, and I think like if you do kind of what I'm pitching here, where you do take control of the Pokemon, I think the coolest thing about that would be not only are you directly controlling their movements, but damn, you could give them a couple extra actions that are not moves, like a jump, and a roll. And if you can do it, dude, that shit would go so.
That's what I want.
We would be, you and I would
tears be going crazy
down our face.
Yes.
We would, it would be insane. Oh my God. You could do like Dark Souls style, like I'm taking my Psyduck through. I'm just going to outskill everyone.
Yes.
I'm just going to, it'd be really
I want to be able to do that badly.
So bad,
like, even to a degree, I am like toying around with the idea of trying to do that in this game. But I think that the game does still kind of wall you. Like you can't.
It does.
You can't beat the Zygarde boss fight with just Totodile, man. Like, it's probably not going to happen for you. It's GG's. Yeah. And if you can, it's going to take forever. It's going to take so long. But you know, I don't want to spend the whole time talking about the Pokemon game, but I'm very high on this. I will say, what rank are you right now? You're grinding online too, right? You're doing online stuff?
Yeah, I'm playing. Yeah. I'm A.
You got back in A in season 2, or did you not spin the block?
Already back in A.
Same.
Yeah, already back in A. Got to it last night. Wait, really quick. I want to know, in the DLC, is there anybody that you saw that you're like, they're on the team?
So far, I mean, the closest that I didn't really pay that much attention to like any Pokemon that they didn't call like very intense attention to. So like Baxcalibur, I know he's in the video game, and I know Chingling is in the video game. Everybody else, I didn't really look that deep at, but like, oh, this Pokemon's great. Corviknight, I saw Corviknight because they're very
see, because two of like my all-time faves were in that trailer, and I was like, oh,
also Annihilate. I saw Annihilate. So yes, Annihilate, at the very least, I'm using him. But I am withholding judgment until I see more megas, because I wanna there's a good chance that if I see a mega that I like, I'm gonna want to use that. Like, I need a Flygon mega. I just need it. Flygon is cool, but he sucks. So I need him to be cool and not suck. So I need that mega.
Yeah, they some of my all-time faves were in that trailer. Annihilate is like a top 5 Pokemon for me, so I'm like dying for Annihilate. Mr. Rhyme is here, so I will 100%. Mr. Rhyme has a spot on the team, and then the one I'm holding out for, they need to show me Sirfetch'd. I'm dying for Sirfetch'd. I love Sirfetch'd.
Yeah, I like Sirfetch'd.
He's getting a cartoon soon.
Yep.
So I'm like, put him in the game. Let him be sorting it up. Come on.
Yeah, I mean, Galar Pokemon, they made sense to put in here.
They keep talking about
geographically.
Him, so, you know. Yeah, and then and Galarian Mr. Mime was in the trailer, so I'm like, okay, let's get Sirfetch'd in here. Let's do it.
Just do it.
Yep.
I didn't know for a long time in this game, because I don't really pay attention to the sidebar, that crits were a thing. So I wonder how annoying that will be, evolving Sirfetch'd to friggin' Sirfetch'd.
Did you see that you can evolve the squid guy into Malamar on Switch 2 only by putting your Joy-Con in upside down?
I just turned it upside down.
No, yeah, you turned your like your whole system upside down.
Yeah.
There's a Switch 2 exclusive evolution method
that you can just put because you do
the Joy-Con like this, and that'll do it.
I did not see that. I just flipped it around.
I saw that today.
I wish I knew that. Well, hold on. Can you do that if it's docked?
I don't know what you do if it's docked.
Like, because I know you can't do it if it's docked. Well, allegedly you can you can flip the Pro Controller, but I don't believe that because I've never actually gotten that to work.
I don't buy it either. What's our next agenda item?
The next topic is about the earnings call highlights.
Oh, lovely.
Yeah.
What was there anything about that's really like jumped out at you? What was like the most interesting thing to you?
The only thing, it's not particularly interesting to me because I never bought like I never drunk the Kool-Aid that the Switch 2 in any way was going to fail or even trail behind the original Switch. Like,
I remember you and I specifically laughing about like Switch 2.
I'm pretty sure me and you specifically said 25 million year one. And I still believe I believe that deep in my soul that by June 5th, 2026, it will be at least at 25 million units sold. And that's what this earnings call confirmed to me. They sold a little under 10 million Switch 2s. Donkey Kong sold.
I mean, it's on fire. It's literally on fire. I think whatever their expectation is for how it's going to sell in the holiday,
it's going to do better.
I guarantee it exceeds that expectation. I guarantee it.
Because right now they're saying by the end of this fiscal year, it'll be at 19 million.
That's insane.
I think holiday, they might, by the next earnings call, they might double this number.
No, yeah, this is because, listen, they're going to announce that Gen 10 Pokemon game in February.
And these numbers don't even have the Pokemon game that we have right now.
Yeah, it's so stupid. It's so stupid. All right, yeah, so whatever. Yeah, good. Switch 2 success.
Yeah,
good.
it's successful.
I love the Switch 2. I love the
Same.
Switch 2. I'm a huge fan. I honestly could not be happier. Great system. Like no complaints, honestly. I'm like kind of obsessed with it.
I agree. I haven't played my usually. So when I got my original Switch, right? I got my original Switch like everybody else in the universe. I got Breath of the Wild, and then I played that obsessively for like the first week, and then like, okay, time for Mario Kart, smiley face, waiting for that.
Sure.
And this, like with Switch 2, I literally have not had a moment of rest where I'm like, all right, time for the next day. It's like, all right, I am still actively playing something, but this other thing has my attention now. It's like, I got the Switch 2, I'm playing Mario Kart, but wait, I can play Street Fighter 6 on this now? I'm playing Street Fighter 6. Donkey Kong comes out, I'm playing Donkey Kong. Oh, wait, even before that, Dragon Drive was before Donkey Kong or after Donkey Kong? Because I played that for a period.
I think it was before, but the it's funny, there's like this like little narrative out there of like, oh, there aren't games to play on Switch 2, and I'm like, maybe you don't like video games. Like maybe like please consider that maybe you don't like video games, because even just like with the launch games, there were enough games that were just like magically enhanced by the Switch 2 that I'm like, come on. Like there must be something you want to play. And like even, it doesn't have to be
the thing for me
latest
is like,
and greatest. Yeah.
Even the stuff that like in theory I could have played. There's a lot of stuff that gets slipped through because we get so many games, especially as somebody that has multiple consoles. It's like if you have even a PC and a Nintendo console, there's so many things that are coming out all the time that there's no way you have played every game that was in first month of Switch 2. The first month of playable titles, there was something that was on Xbox or PlayStation or whatever that you didn't get to. So for me, it was like, okay, I played Street Fighter 6, but I fell off of Street Fighter 6, and I didn't necessarily want to fall off of Street Fighter 6. So for me, it was like, oh, and I can play this portably, and this works perfectly for a game, especially since like the Joy-Con are bigger, it's more like ergonomical compared to the last game. It's a viable console for me to like grind out combos and stuff to actually get good at the video game in my leisure. I don't have to be like at my desk all the time when I'm playing this video game.
Yeah.
So
I love Street Fighter 6. What a game.
Same. So that alone was enough for me to be like, yes, I'm down. And like Cyberpunk, I didn't get around to it because again, too much stuff. But like the concept of like playing that also easily in handheld on top of the additional benefit of the mouse mode, which I find interesting. I still haven't been able to like there hasn't been a game other than Dragon Drive, because obviously that game it is a mouse mode video game. It's mouse mode simulator. But I played around with mouse mode a little bit in Fortnite, but because I didn't get Cyberpunk, I didn't have a game that actively uses it. So my only time to be able to engage with that will probably be Metroid when that comes out. And we've talked about Metroid. I'm not, you know, like the game's I'm giving it the opportunity to potentially win me over, but I am not one of these people that's like, this is even a game of the year contender for me personally. I hope that it proves me wrong, but
I think I'm even past that point, to be honest with you. They said the date for the Pokemon DLC, and I went, Metroid. I went, wham, Metroid, you're done. You're done.
So the thing is, like, I'm going to play it. It's already paid for.
Yeah, of course.
I got vouchers. So like, I'm going to play it that first week. But it needs to be a really good game for me to still play it after the Pokemon DLC. It needs to be really good, because the way that ZA grabbed me pre-DLC, I don't see a world where the DLC doesn't just have me back in like that. Because I still play ZA every day. Really, to be honest, the only thing that stops me from playing it close to as much as I was is because I am currently letting my brother play my copy of ZA.
That's sweet.
So I'm like, I can't play it because the game key card thing or virtual card thing. So we can't play at the same time. So that's the only reason why I'm not like actively playing this all the time, because especially now with the rank thing, and now it's easier to get bottle caps, and I could test more teams. Like, come on, man. Come on.
I didn't even realize that. I was just kind of playing yesterday, and I was going up the ranks, and I was like, oh, they must have changed like the rewards, because I was getting like actually good stuff, and not just like, here's 5 mega shards.
I got like 20
Yeah.
bottle caps
Yeah.
from Z to A. I got like 20 bottle caps. That's more bottle caps than I got
Yep.
my entirety with playing the video game.
Yeah. Saving those for my Mr. Rhyme catch coming in early December.
It's just like, I don't know, man. Metroid, I don't know. And I'm not even buying into this propaganda where people are like, this is the best looking game on Switch. I'm like, where? How?
Oh no. Oh, I have not seen people saying that. That is please draw your attention to the desert scene where no. How could you? How could anyone say that? Oh man.
I don't know. It's insane.
I enjoy Metroid discourse because I feel that it is so far removed from the video game that it's literally just like crazy people screaming at each other. So I'm excited for this game to finally come out so that we can actually know what it is. Because to this point, they've shown however many trailers for that game, and I still feel like I only have like a passing understanding of like what the game really is. I played it at my Switch 2 hands-on event, and it was, you know, boring, but like it was, but they demoed a boring part because they weren't really demoing the game; they were demoing mouse mode. So it was, you know,
and 120 frames per second.
That's right. That too. Yeah, exactly. And it's funny. It's like the sometimes the game feels more like a Switch 2 showcase than it feels like
a new
Metroid game. If that makes sense. You know what I mean?
Right.
Yeah,
I think a lot of that is because like that's the only thing to latch on to for people that are not already in. Because I feel like for the most part, they're not trying to sell us on it.
Yeah.
They're kind of like the closest that they do to that is being like, yo, mouse mode, 120 frames. Yeah. But for everything else, it's like, yo, Metroid Prime fans, we're back. We're here. All three of y'all, we're back.
Yeah, right. I know.
And I'm like, I don't know. Them delaying the game as much as they did made me feel like they wanted the game to be more. It felt to me like this whole time that I'm like, I don't know, maybe this is Metroid's Breath of the Wild moment. And the more they show this game, I don't think it is. I don't think so. I think this game,
it's weird, right?
Best case scenario, lifetime.
It feels like there's something missing. It feels like there's something. Yeah, I know. I have that sense too, and I can't tell if it's us or them. I don't know. Is there any shot that within the next month we get a trailer for this game that has some huge like
reveal?
Yeah, you know what I mean? Is there any shot?
I mean, they're doing preview events. Aren't the preview events like today? And they're supposed to be doing press stuff on the 15th question mark? Something like that.
Oh, really?
So,
I don't know about any of this.
So maybe that's, maybe that's what the event is for.
Okay.
Is them unveiling, how like before with Pokemon, they did the whole drop of like, yo, it's multiplayer now. Maybe there's like.
See, not to be a complete psychopath, but that might get me on board.
If it's multiplayer?
If there's just a little arena battle mode, I don't think they're going to do it. I don't think that's what they want, but I think it'd be fun.
I think multiplayer is one of the best selling points that you could give to any game ever, personally.
Yeah. Get it on day one.
Because it's just it's kind of like, it's like the next step to what they're trying to achieve with these roguelite modes, where it's kind of like, yo, you like this sauce? Here's more chicken to dip it in. Like, that's what these modes do. Yeah, that's what multiplayer does.
And I think like part of Metroid Prime is that like it could stand to be a little bit more mainstream.
Yeah.
And it just it wouldn't hurt. It just like wouldn't hurt to them. They put out an entirely online game in drag and drive. It's like you can't give me you pick a little character, Metroid Prime Hunter style. You're in the corridors, you're shooting each other. Is it that much?
I think it's because they buy into the same thing that the fans will tell you. It's like the value of Metroid is that it's this singular experience. A lot of I'm sure you engage with a lot of nerds that's like, I refuse to play video games multiplayer. I hate multiplayer games, actually. Like,
it is about the quiet. It is about solitude. It is about enjoying the dripping of a cave.
Exactly.
It's like, oh, you hear a little. It is so meaningful, and I'm like, all right, dude, you can also
feel seen by this game that rewards me for being antisocial. I love that it loves me. Like, all right, man. Okay, brother. I just come on. Let's be
Sometimes
realistic here.
people are just like talking to me about why they enjoy Metroid Prime, and I'm like, you can read like Henry David Thoreau's Walden whenever you like, literally whenever you want. You can do that whenever you want. Like, I don't know.
Seriously.
Oh man.
Seriously.
All right. But yeah, okay. So anyways, on the topic of the financial stuff with Nintendo, you and I have seen a million of these things. I didn't this time around, there wasn't anything to me that was particularly like, oh, that's surprising or particularly interesting. Maybe like the 84% of Switch 2 owners owned a Switch.
Did you see this? I don't want to call out specifically the impetus of it because drama.
Oh, I did not. Whatever you're about to say, I did not see it.
I don't want to go into it because I genuinely don't want to call out the person. But the discourse that it caused about the framing of this announcement, where it was like, this doesn't seem like it's saying what they're trying to say. But to me, I looked at the slide and I was like, this sounds like what they're trying to say. Like people were thinking apparently that they were trying to say that 84% of people that bought Nintendo Switches now have Switch 2s, but that is not that's not what's being said. And I'll DM you about what I'm talking about, but again, I don't want to make it drama, so I don't want to it's not about the who, it's about the conversation of it all, because I think that this happens a lot where and especially like increasingly now in this like anti-intellectual world that we live in. Like there's so much like reframing of things to make everything insidious, where it's just like, nah, people are just more high on this thing than you are, and that's fine, and that's what this feels like. It's like, that's a pretty impressive stat. And in fact, I was kind of surprised that it wasn't lower, like, because a lot of times and like back then, I guess, like I'm like retroactively feeling like I feel like they want me to feel now by this 84%, where I'm like, what? Like 84% of the thing bought that. But that's what I expect early adopters to be, where it's like, yes, I'm happy with the thing that I got and you're making the new thing, I'm buying the new thing. But the 16% to me,
I completely agree with where you're going with this. I saw that 16% and I went, whoa. I
was like, how? Where did you come 16%?
No, I know. I'm like, wait, you're telling me that these people fucking held off on you saturated the market so completely with that original Switch. You're telling me that 16%, that is a significant chunk of this large amount of people that buy a Switch. They were like, I'm in, baby. You got me. I held off for 10 years of the Switch.
It's
now
so
I'm
crazy.
That's insane.
And
that actually is so powerful.
So
to me.
crazy. And the other part of this, even though like obviously it's the smallest part of the graph that they got here, I'm still shocked that there's this big of a pool of people that bought Switch 1s in 2025 and then bought a Switch 2. What?
No. I don't know what to say about Nintendo and their numbers these days. It like defies all. We just have to accept it. Like, it's okay. Nobody, they've congratulations. They won. It's like over. You know what I mean? I'm like, okay, you've done it. You're on the top. It's like kind of what people whine about with the Pokemon games all the time, where they're like, whatever they do, you're gonna buy it anyway. That's how I feel about all of Nintendo right now. I'm literally just like, you can make no mistake. It's over.
It's true, but I hate that talking point so much. That's part of my next video, funnily enough, because it's it's so disingenuous to pretend that like even all the crap that we give Pokemon games, and believe it wholeheartedly, like it would be a lie to say that even the worst ones don't have value at all. I think all of them do the core value proposition of what the world is. The reason why people care about Pokemon is the character designs and the world, and all of the video games deliver on that well.
Yeah, at this point.
The thing is, like, I would say, like, with Scarlet and Violet, right, which is like a lot of people's least favorite Pokemon games, I think it has some of the strongest Pokemon designs of any generation. Like, there are so many Pokemon that like leapfrog favorite, like Annihilate. That's a shared favorite of me and you. There's
Finizen is one of my favorites. Yes. The Palafin, I love Palafin.
I love the Dondozo Tatsugiri, the whole thing. Like there's
Dango.
Yes, I hate him, but I only hate him because of the video game. I hate him because he's overtuned. I hate Good as Gold. Okay. I hate that. They're like, Good as Gold is so toxic.
I know, I love Goldango.
What do you mean you can't burn him? That's crazy.
There's something about them being so these Pokemon people being like, what if we made a Pokemon that was a little guy obsessed with money? I'm like, how did you get away with this?
mean,
And no one.
He
no
also
one
gives me
raised
Cinnamon vibes. That's another thing that I don't really like about him.
Cinnamon?
Yeah, he gives me Cinnamon vibes.
That's crazy. Oh
my friend Rob, he was like, "Yo, I wish they put Golden Go in and ZA," and I was like, "How dare you wish that evil on the world?"
No, me too. That's one of the ones I'm holding out for in the DLC. He's on my list.
Get off my podcast. No, I'm joking.
No, I want him, and I want the crab, the winter crab.
Oh yeah, Crabominable.
I love.
I'm down for Crabominable. I had him on my Sun and Moon replay.
Hell yeah.
But yeah, no, that like they always deliver on that. They do a very good job at that.
Agreed.
And they do all of the like not super like tangible things of like the team building and like your personal story through the journey and all that good crap. It's just they also need to make a game that's fun, you know. It's like,
of course, yeah. I think people that come at it from that argument of like, oh, you're gonna buy it no matter what. I think what that is to me is a self-report that they are uncurious about understanding what it is that people like about those games.
Right.
And if you're going to be somebody on the internet, you can do whatever you want. But if you're going to pretend to be like a critic, then it is your job to interrogate what's going on there. And if you're not interested in doing that, that's fine. You can be a hater. Like, I don't care. I'm a hater of certain things.
Same.
And but it's a little bit of an unserious position, I think, inherently.
Yeah.
So
I think if you, especially since a lot of people try to frame this argument as like them being like objective, like even like creators. I hate when I hate that my honest review of I hate that framing so much because it calls it for me, it calls into question everything, because like I've gotten that suggestion a decent amount as a creator where it's like, oh, you should name your next video this, and I'm like, no, why would I name it that? Because all my videos are my honest opinion. Like, what else? What is the point of the video if it's not that? But people trying to like dress up their opinion as objective because it's negative is crazy to me. It's like you being negative about a thing does not make it more honest. It just makes you not like the thing, and that's a different situation. Like, and
I also largely think that kind of upholding of somebody's opinion, like, oh, guys, you all have to hear the conclusion I came to. It's bad. I'm like, okay, who cares? Like, who gives? Okay, congratulations, congrats, you have an opinion. It's like, all right, you know.
Like, I don't know about you, but me personally, it just feels gross to talk about a thing if I don't like it. Like, the only time that I will is if there's some kind of like promise that I made to my audience that I would. You know, like the only time I've ever made a video where I'm like, this there's two games that I made a video. I was like, this game is bad and I need to tell you about why. It's Kirby Star Allies, because I initially made a video. I was like, I don't know about this game, guys. As somebody that likes Kirby and like thinks that it could also, similar to Pokemon, could be doing more, I think Kirby Star Allies was like marketed as the game that could potentially be doing it, and it didn't, right? So I made that video, and then when it came out, I was like, it didn't do the thing. And then the other one was Sonic Forces. I made that video because it was being positioned similarly, where it's like, this is one of the first good 3D Sonic. It's like, no, this game sucks actually, and here's why, right? And I wish that it was good. But a lot of times with these arguments of like, game sucks and let's dogpile, it's just like, yeah, I agree with the internet comments. Actually, it's terrible, and let me repeat all their opinions to tell you that I agree. And I'm like, what's the point of that? Why does this need to exist?
And I think this might be a good transition into reviews for Hyrule Warriors.
How do you feel about this? How do you feel about this?
Okay, so I don't know if you're aware, I have a podcast called the Critical Error Podcast, and we did an episode this week about a review for Age of Imprisonment that kind of went viral. It was a review on Metro.co. They have a video game vertical called Game Central. And the review was somebody who had positioned themselves as a hater of Muso games. And they spent the whole review talking about how much they hate the genre and spent very little time talking about the actual game that they were supposed to be reviewing.
Right.
And that was kind of what if you're interested in that, Critical Error on YouTube, Spotify, whatever. But how we kind of came down on it was, I don't care if you are a fan or not a fan of something. your job is to review the game in front of you.
Yes.
Not to just like that's it. You have to stay close to the text is what we say.
Yeah.
And
even I think the way to do that, even if you're, because I think that there is, especially for a game like this, right, where it's a crossover thing where it's like, yo, Zelda fans, here's a new way to play Zelda. Right. I think in that scenario, you need to understand that there's going to be people that aren't Musou fans that play the game because they're Zelda fans.
That's actually a good point. The way that I didn't even think about that.
The way that you review a Musou game that is a Zelda game is you just talk about what you don't like about the game. You don't say, I don't like this game because it's a part of this genre. Even if your critique is the same, like the reason why you don't like another Warriors game, you say, this is a Zelda game. I'm a fan of Zelda. I was told that this has Zelda lore and story, and I didn't like it because this, and this, because that's how I feel. But I am somebody that I am aware that I don't like Musou games, so I just avoided the video game. I just said, I know I'm not going to like this. And I know that there are people that do like Warriors games that are going to like this. And I know that there's going to be the video that already is from that perspective that I just mentioned. So why do I need to contribute to this? You know, it's like, I don't need to dogpile on the thing that there will be hate for. Like, it is what it is.
Yeah. So I've actually played a little bit of this game. I started it up yesterday. I'm maybe a couple hours in, and my biggest takeaway so far is that somebody over there hates Princess Zelda. The way that they
what is it? Echoes of Wisdom kind of way. Or it's like
no, worse.
Oh,
Yes, because I think in Echoes of Wisdom she can at least hide behind the
link mode.
I think she can hide behind not being too much of a character.
Okay.
Because, yeah, and whereas in this Hyrule Warriors game, of course, there's like fully voice acted cutscenes, and like there is a character there that now I can judge, and that character, I like feel bad saying this, but based on what I've played so far, my true opinion is that it feels like Zelda is a princess to be looked at. It feels like she is tropey in a way that would never be deployed on a male character. She is constantly like astonished and surprised and taken aback, and there's like this passivity. There is this she doesn't have any personality traits that ever cause issues for anyone else. She arrives in this strange new world and she's like, who are you people? And everyone is immediately friends with her. And no one, and they're like, the only problem is like, oh, you're lost. Well, we'll help you. And like in a normal story where I think you normally have or where you have typically seen before, like a male character in that setting, there will be character traits where it's like, I'm lost, but I have to work with you. But because of these elements of me and these elements of you, it's like hard for us to work together. There's like, oh, we have to learn how to work together. And and I feel like Zelda is just stripped of. And it is like so important to them that Zelda be this like thing, like this thing that everyone likes and that everyone is, and she's good and she's, and I feel they're so overprotective of Zelda that it flattens her character into like the most boring, least self-actualized thing ever. She can survive without Link, but she cannot thrive without him. And it's like, it's like a problem. It's like a real problem in the way that they set that game up. So that's my biggest disappointment so far. I do kind of like Musou games more or less. And on that front, I think that it is good. It's like fun to play.
But okay, so
yeah,
I hate putting numbers to criticism.
Yeah,
let me preface that by saying, okay, put a number, because like the way my friend Bob, he has this whole thing where he says Luigi's Mansion, he's like, yeah, it's good, and to him that's a 7. It's like, like I understand that there's like value to this game and people like it for a reason. I don't, so I'm going to lower the grade given the fact that I don't like it, but I acknowledge that there is something here to be liked. Is that how you feel about it, or would you make it higher than that? It's like, as somebody that does like Warriors games, it's like a solid attempt at that. It's like, what would you say?
I think I've got it for you. So My favorite Warriors game was Fire Emblem Three Hopes. And the reason I liked this was because I thought that the pacing of switching between this almost like persona, who are you going to talk to during the day, and then going out into these action battles, that was actually like a fun loop, because it was like, okay, you do a little mashing, you do a little killing things, and then you come back and you talk to the characters, and it's like fun to talk to them. And I thought that balance really worked for these kinds of Warriors games, because it wasn't just doing the same button combos in perpetuity. There was a little bit like, oh, now I get a break from this, now I get a break from this, now I get a break from this, now I get a break from this. Right now, this Zelda game, I feel maybe lacks that in what I've played so far. And what's making it bad for me is the truly, man, sometimes like a cutscene is playing and it's been so long since I've pressed a button that like the screen dims, you know what I mean? And I'm like, holy shit, they're still talking. And they're never saying anything interesting, ever. And I almost think that there's like a game here that's like better than how they're delivering it so far. So it's tough for me to put a number on it, because I do think that like the pacing could change, and they could structure this in a way that is more fun at a certain point. But like 6.
How'd you feel about the last one? The last Zelda. You played that, right?
Oh, I did play that. Okay, no, that one is worse, because
okay.
So
this
purely
complicates everything.
Yeah, the last one was definitely worse.
Okay.
A couple of things. One, the performance was a very large problem, and yes. And there is a degree to which this game, when you turn it on, you're in the gameplay, even when you're just like walking around, I was a little bit like, ooh. Okay, this looks nice. Okay, and I was getting some joy out of that. So that's something. But
okay,
the kind of gameplay systems that are here and how they have like these, it's funny. You'll be fighting a guy and he'll start preparing a special move, and looks like he's going to charge at you, and you need to use a certain type of special move in response to stop him from doing his.
Right.
And you have these different types. So there's like one guy, he jumps up into the air and he's going to hit you, and you need to make sure you use your like little arrows, because those go up in the air and will stop him. And that is like, okay, that's a fun wrinkle. And then you've got like a block and you've got a dodge. And then this person can kind of attack in this way, and that one can do this. And it's like, oh, I can actually be attacking you over here. Switch to that guy. You were using a shield. Now I'm behind you. Now I'm poking you with my spear from over here. And so there's enough stuff going on that I thought the first game was like, it's Hyrule Warriors in the world of Breath of the Wild. Are you impressed? And and that was kind of all it had going for it. Whereas this one, I do feel like it is a little bit more mechanically dense, and my like mental stack is a little bit more interesting than it was in the last one.
Okay, that complicates everything, because I played the last one, because I did. So the first one, Nintendo sent it to me on Switch. The first Hyrule Warriors. I hated it.
Like the first one?
The first one. I hated it.
Yeah.
And I was like, I'm never playing this again, because I already didn't like Warriors games, me personally. I was like, they just feel like, I get it. I get that people like having games where it's like turn brain off, push button, satisfying like feedback loop for pressing button. I don't really want that. If I'm playing a game, I want to engage with the game. So for that game, I was like, nah, I'm good. And then they announced Age of Calamity, and I was like, another Warriors game, I'm good. And then they were like, but it closes the gap between Breath of the Wild and the sequel to The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild. You want to know about the story, right? So then that came out, and I was like, I'll try it, because I do care about closing that bridge, It was an Elseworld thing. It wasn't even canon. So I was like, you made me play this game that I hate to get a story that isn't even real. So I was like, I don't want to do that. And then that was what they did with this one, where I was like, yo, it has canon story. You want to get there? And I was like, no, you're not doing this to me again. You're not doing this to me again.
Well, the thing that makes me mad is that I am so happy to indulge in a non-canon story, but if it's non-canon, then it should be good.
Yeah.
And like, then there are no rules. Then it should be good.
Right.
And it's like, I think these people are incapable. I think these people a take that I've been like quietly cooking in my mind for a while is that I think something is like deeply wrong with Nintendo in terms of what they even think a story is.
Yeah, they don't. I don't think they care. You know what? The thing is, like,
they don't care. Yeah.
Me personally, and I know you'll take issue with this. I don't think a good video game story exists. I don't care what company it is. I don't care what console it's on. I don't think it exists. I think the best video game stories, the ones that are like put on a pedestal in our industry, are like just like frail copies of a story that was already told elsewhere better. And
I agree with that. Yeah,
the value of video game stories haven't been actually realized, because what should happen in a video game story is, like, right now, the way I see it is like the entirety of a video game story is as if the entirety of Star Wars was the opening crawl. The whole thing is like, we're going to tell you this whole story through text, and it's technically a movie because the text is moving. That's how I feel about video games. It's like, tell me, I want a story that, like, I need to be partaking in this interactive medium, and the story does not exist. Not it's slightly enhanced by the fact that it's interactive. I want a story that doesn't exist without that.
Yeah.
And I feel like Nintendo, at least the way that the vibe that I get, I think they feel similarly, and they just don't try because of it. I think they're like, if we're gonna like have a game tell a story, we care more about the story that you tell by playing the video game. So we're not even gonna try to paint it as something else.
I think your instincts are pretty much right on with a lot of that. I think that my problem is that I think the story that Nintendo tells with their gameplay is also deeply lacking.
That's fair.
And because like when you say like, okay, there's no good stories in games, I know where you're coming from. I think that there are some. I do think that there are good stories in games, but I think that the best stories in games cannot be divorced from the form. And that's kind of what you're hitting on that I really like, because I would say that Tetris has a great story, and it's a story about turning.
So when I say that, I more so mean, like, I don't think The Last of Us is a strong example of a good story in a game.
You mean.
I don't think Metal Gear Solid is a good example. I think all of those things were made by people that wanted to be filmmakers, but this is the industry that they're in. So they're like, oh, I'm gonna make a movie, and you can press X sometimes. That's more so what I mean. But yeah.
I 100% understand what you mean. I do think that a large thing holding back the appreciation of stories is that the people that are largely involved with writing about video games and kind of being the translators of meaning, or the historical lens that we will look back on when we talk about these games, I think that these people, like the media class, are largely unprepared to talk about story in a meaningful or academic way. I think that people in media simply don't have the tools to interrogate what a story is doing. And I do think a lot of it has to do with what you're saying. The people, when they write about story in a video game review, they use the words, the language of books and film to write about the story, and they completely divorce it from the game, as if you could silo it off into its own world. And that to me is like a fundamental failing of the space that people just have not yet grown into. So we don't have the language to appreciate stories in games yet, which is why I say something like, I like the story of Tetris, and it's like, no, Jake, you're being obstinate right now.
No, actually. I agree with you, actually.
You know what I mean? You know what I mean? No, but so
it's just like this. I feel like the thing with the stories that do exist in games are like things that we have to pull from them outside of them. Like Tetris is not marketed in a way that it's like the story in this, it's like they wouldn't, if you went to the people that designed Tetris, they would tell you that a story's not in it, and I more so am like holding out hope for one day. And like in the grand scheme of things, this is a young medium, so on and so forth, yada, 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 blah, blah, blah. I am looking forward to the day where, and I already know there's going to be people in the comment sections that are tired of me talking about this, because I say it all the time. And you're probably the person that is the most like ingrained in the world of like the act of writing and writing stories. So I think that it makes sense that you're the one that gets what I'm talking about.
Sure.
So I don't even mean that to say like people that like the characters in The Last of Us and they like the story that was told or whatever shouldn't like those things. I just mean that it's like, well, this is a story that we'll look back on and be like, man, they really didn't know what they were doing yet. And I'm looking forward to the day where they figure out what they're doing.
Yeah, it's like when you look at a movie that is 50 years old.
Yeah, exactly.
It's yeah, so I completely understand that. I think one to kind of like give a tip of the cap though, I will say a story moment that I really like in God of War, the reboot.
Mm-hmm.
That game is so concerned with like this meta conversation about Kratos reinventing himself
Right.
and the game reinventing itself alongside Kratos. And there is in that game's narrative, there is this push and pull of Kratos trying to be somebody new for the sake of protecting his son.
Mm-hmm.
And his son gets sick. There's something that he needs to face, and the only way he can face it is by embracing his past. And you
get the
go to his little shed,
yeah.
you get the blades of chaos,
Mm-hmm.
and that is what in screenwriting we would call a moment of transcendence.
Right.
And it aligns the player with the protagonist. So not only is Kratos having this epiphany that changes something for him, the player is having their experience changed, because when you go to fight with the blades of chaos, you are experiencing something that is completely new, and it's new, but it's also old, the same way that it is for Kratos.
Exactly.
And that is like, fuck, dude, like that is like video games.
I think that's like the closest that we get, where like the like strong marriage of story and the medium is like referential to the story that they're trying to tell. It's not core to the story that they're trying to tell. It's like, hey, see what I did there? Writing nerds, you see what I did? Get it? Yeah, but it's not like this game wouldn't exist if these things weren't married together, Like they could still like have that moment in a movie and it wouldn't be that different. The thing that it's like, it's an additional layer, to be sure, where it's like the gameplay is different and the weapon that I'm using is different and it's referential to the old game. And like, that's a part of the journey that he's going on, where it's like, you don't have to completely forget your past, but like I get all that. And it's, it's neat, but we can go further is really what it is. I don't even know what started this. We're talking about Age of Imprisonment. But
Age of, I mean, listen, I think we've talked about Age of Imprisonment the exact amount that Age of Imprisonment deserves to be talked about.
I agree.
So I'm excited to play a little bit more. I just want to, I'm in it for, I don't know. I think the thing that I think you and I are kind of aligned in this button pressing game just not being super fun. Mm-hmm. I think where these games get fun for me and their combat is not actually about the combat. It's about it's like a management. Once the game, you get deep enough in the game, it actually becomes about, you're looking at the map, you see that there are guys there and there. So I'm like, okay, you've got to go there, you've got to go there, and then switching between them and making sure that you're like managing all the levels of the crowds and stuff. That's when the game is fun. Like the actual execution of the moves and the action is like secondary to the kind of meta game of what you're that like bird's eye view kind of thing that you're doing. So I'm hoping it gets a little bit into that, and there's a little Korok guy that I want to see what his deal is. Have you seen this?
No, I have not.
There's a little Korok, and he's wearing a hat, and you like fight with him. He's like a little almost like Robin Hood-esque little Korok guy, and I just want to see what his deal is. So that's where I'm sticking around.
Report back, because I don't want to.
Listen, this is a hard game to tell anybody to buy for $70.
Yeah.
It is like, that's like, you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. That's that. So if we're talking brass tacks, and I think that like what this game is gets heavily lifted by the fact that Zelda fans are, you fill in the blank. So so that's,
The last thing, at least that I think, a lot of the stuff was like Miyamoto comments on different things. Oh, there is one thing that I did want to circle back on. About the acquisition thing. Because Nintendo, they said in their previous earnings report that they didn't want to do acquisitions. But now it sounds like they very much so want to do acquisitions. And I'm curious. What will those be and why? Because me personally, I've been banging the drum that it's like, if they're going to buy anybody, it needs to be Bandai Namco, because they are very closely aligned with them. I think that would be a very useful acquisition for Pokemon, especially. if they utilize that relationship. And like if they want to have Sakurai on the hook for more Smash Brothers and other things, that seems like a studio that he likes going to a lot. Even if it's like more of an aqua hire, like partial thing where it's like you guys can keep the name, but we buy these aspects of company. I think that at least with a company that's noteworthy, and if it was to be like a like industry shaker, like Sony just bought Bungie kind of thing. That's the one that I could identify that would make the most sense. I don't know if they're talking about going that big though, because they tend to not. I feel like usually when they make an acquisition, it's like we had to do that. Like we did this joint venture with Retro. They were burning through the money. They're like this inefficient team. We needed to take control. Or with Monolith, where it was like Monolith Soft didn't want to be part of Bandai Namco anymore, so we bought them because they wanted us to. I think that like that's probably what they would lean towards, but I don't know if like the increased resources required to make a Switch 2 game has changed their tune at all.
That's interesting. Yeah, that's an interesting angle. Yeah, I kind of agree with the instinct that the Bandai Namco purchase just feels large. It just feels maybe like. Yeah, I mean,
because like then Nintendo would own Tekken, and something about that is wrong, you know.
Yeah, and there's also something about just like the way in which Nintendo is like, we will contract you for this period, and it's like, I don't know how interested they are in like managing the Tekken brand is a great example,
right?
So yeah, so I don't know. It's if I'm thinking about like why Nintendo would even acquire anything, I see it almost as like literal manpower.
Yes.
Like it doesn't even matter who it is. It's like
because they have the IP. They're not doing the Microsoft thing where it's like we need more characters people care about. They have all the characters people care about.
Yeah, and it's like how Nintendo or Pokemon works with that. What's that stupid company that made like the Brilliant Diamond Shining Pearl?
Ilka.
Yeah, it's like that shit. It's like we just need like bodies.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? We just need bodies, dude.
Right.
Yeah. So it's
but I think like that kind of thing. The thing about Nintendo is like I think they care a lot about the bodies. Like I think they care a lot about who they are, and that's why I identify like because again when they buy somebody, it's somebody that they usually have a pre-existing relationship with, so they can be like, well, we know that this studio is good and that they can make things that are up to our standards, and I think that is like a normal company that they go to, second only to probably like what Platinum and Koei Tecmo.
Right.
And I mean Platinum.
Oh man,
there's been a lot of people talking. Their death's door. Maybe it's Platinum. maybe I just talked myself into solving it. Nintendo's buying Platinum. Cheap. Yeah,
Platinum's on sale, so that'd be good. Honestly, even man, that Koei Tecmo. You said that, and I was like, shit. That's actually I could totally see that. That would be kind of a big move from them. I think.
Yeah,
because that's a lot of manpower actually. So.
Yeah.
That's interesting, man. I would love to pick them up and get some Pokemon spin-off skin in the fire there.
Yeah. I want somebody to just make the thing. Like for me, it's like me and Dusty talk about this a decent amount where he'll bring up like, man, this spinoff would be cool and this spinoff would be cool. I'm like, no spinoffs.
Who's gonna make it?
Stop making spinoffs. Make the regular ass game good first. I don't want to hear nothing about a spinoff until the regular game is good.
I gotta tell you, there is a part of me though that I'm like, if a new Pokken came around the corner.
So I am only human. I too would be excited about that as well.
Yeah.
But I still firmly believe it's like, no, we don't deserve dessert. Finish your dinner first. Like, make a good video game. I still like Pokemon Legends EA is my favorite Pokemon game, period. It is my favorite Pokemon game. I feel very confident in saying that now. I still wish that it didn't exist. I wish that it was just a regular Pokemon game. I wish that it had all the regions and a full new Pokedex and also all of the gameplay changes and advancements. I don't like the fact that they feel the need to dress it up in this like, hey guys, we're taking this little risk here, but it's not a real risk because it's a spinoff. So like if you don't like it, you can always go back to the regular thing and that's cool, right? And I know like in Japan, they don't market it as a spinoff and they say it's a core game, but like we know it's a spinoff. It's a spinoff. It just is.
I got in a fight over this on like Twitter or something the other day, and I'm like, guys, you have to understand, if you're talking to a normal person, then and no, I'm sorry. There are the mainline Pokemon games, and you know what they are.
Right.
You know, don't pretend. There's two of them. They come out. They're in it. You know what I mean? It's like they're
the fact that like look at how even they like look at how it's spelled. Like look at its title. It's Pokemon Legends :
Thank you. Yes, Pokemon spinoff :
yeah. It's not even Pokemon : Legends EA. It's Pokemon Legends. Dude, that's the spinoff.
This is such a great example to demonstrate how I think that particular fan base is just like the company corporate messaging has them by the throat. If they come out and say anything, that fan base goes, this is the truth. They said it. That's a fact. That's a fact. Pikachu is blue. They said it. They said Pikachu is blue.
Third pillar. They're not going to replace Game Boy Advance.
It's a mainline game. You have to buy it. If you play all the mainline games, then you have to buy this one.
Yes. It's like that's them having their cake and eating it too. It's like, yo, you got to buy this game because it's a core game. But also, if you hate it, it's fine because it's the spinoff. Like,
oh my god,
it's just like I don't like that. I want this to be a main. Like, I want it to be the like we're throwing all of our everything behind this game, and this game is closer to that because it does have like the DLC and like they gave it an extra year of development and blah blah blah. But imagine how much bigger it would be and how many of the like lazy critiques of like only one city, like we wouldn't have that if it was a full game. You know,
listen, this upcoming February I think is the highest stakes Pokemon Day
absolutely
of all time. Of all time
100%.
There will never be a higher stakes Pokemon Day than this one.
Absolutely.
So funny, dude.
Absolutely.
So funny. And it's kind of like poetic how this aligns with like this will be the first like Pokemon made for the Switch 2. It's like it is all coalescing. Like it is, oh my god, dude.
And I'll say I do feel I'm higher on it. Like I think like going into the Switch era, I was looking at them with eyebrow raised, where I was like, I was ringing the alarm bell of like, yo, if y'all don't make a video game that feels like Breath of the Wild feels, where it's like the first time you play that, you're like, how did we get from that to this? If that doesn't happen, people will be angry. And Pokemon fans at the time were like, no, just give me 3DS game, but on Switch. And then they did that, and then people were angry. You know, it's like they sold well, and that's because it's a Pokemon game on console. They did do some new things where it's like, it's open world now, overworld encounters, you know, like they drip fed a little cool, neat things. But I think now a lot of the signs that they're like this ultra conservative company are not there as much. Because before it was like, yeah, Nintendo Switch launched, but like, we're not going to put a new Pokemon game on that. We're going to let it go by a year. And then even in that game that we released a year from then, spin-off, you know, it took us 2 years to get a full Pokemon game on Nintendo Switch. This one, we got a Pokemon game, but it, you know, it's Breath of the Wild style of like, it's on Wii U and it's on Switch. We got that. And then likely we will get the next mainline Gen 10 video game exclusive on Switch 2, which is new for them. They don't do that.
No, yeah, I mean, listen, I think we should take it as a good sign that we are in a new era just by the fact that we even got a Switch 2 edition of Legends.
Yes.
I think that alone,
that's what I'm saying.
For Game Freak is like
that's
shocking.
Huge.
Like
that's huge.
It's huge. It's like, oh, are we actually just gonna get what we want now? Like that's how that makes me feel. Yes. You know what I mean? So yeah,
absolutely.
Confidence is high. But this is again, high pressure Pokemon Day.
Yes.
It is all eyes on them. They show that game. And it's so funny because you and I, our demands for like a Pokemon game, they sound so lofty, but at the end of the day, it's like, no.
I just want a game that's fun.
It should be fun to play. Yes. It should be fun to play. When you start the game, it should be fun to play. Like that's it. That is all we want. And then we will see. Pressure is on. Because the funny thing is that when they show this game, it will take us about 8 seconds to know whether or not they have done it.
Right. Exactly.
So
And it's like, I don't know. I feel so conflicted when talking about this stuff because I know firsthand that their fan base, like the active fan base, it's not like they think they're the majority. They're not the majority. They are objectively not the majority. The people that that we're talking to and that PokeTubers are talking to are not the bulk of the franchise. They are. I would be surprised if they're more than 5%, to be honest. Maybe 10 if we're being charitable.
Yeah.
But I do know that they are the loudest. They're the people that Game Freak is like, our fan base doesn't want fun games. Are you crazy?
Yeah,
they're not going to buy that. And I think that they slowly started to figure out that's like, nah, I think that they do want fun games. So I don't know. Hopefully they're willing to double down on the bet for Gen 10.
There is a secret part of me that I normally don't reveal, a conspiratorial part of me that truly, dude, this is the craziest thing you'll ever hear me say. In my heart of hearts, believes that on some level, someone at the Pokemon Company was inspired by Final Fantasy VII Remake. That is how I feel.
Don't think that's crazy. I think that they were inspired by Breath of the Wild. But I think that they're too. Oh, definitely. I think they're too scared to pull the trigger, and it felt like immediately it felt good to know that because I was like when I saw Breath of the Wild, I was like, yes, please, Pokemon, do that, do that, please, I beg you, right? And then they allude to it. They always do that shot. They're like, yo, look at the vista, look at the character running out on the screen, look at the camera pan around him. It's Breath of the Wild, y'all. And then the gameplay is like, nope, no, it's not. Absolutely not. And in this game, they doubled down further. They said, yo, that we're doing that Vista shot. We're doing that. And we have a glider now. There's the paraglider in this video game. So it's just like, all right, we're inching towards it. But I saw Final Fantasy VII Remake and I was like, this is your out. Like, this is how you.
That's your model.
Yeah, this is how you do that.
That's how you do it. It's there. There it is. And I think that there's a chance that when we see Gen 10, it's going to be like, oh, they took some, because Final Fantasy VII Remake has a little bit of that, like, oh, it's real time, but you can stop it and you can do the, so I don't know. So there's some stuff there. And honestly, the thing about Pokemon Legends ZA that gives me so much confidence, this is so stupid, but when you find those blocks of ice and you can attack them and they create a bridge.
Yeah.
I saw that and I went, ooh, somebody's thinking over
100%, 100%. And like with the tree trunks where it's like, and it's not just, you can't just break it with fire. There's multiple weaknesses that you can, and then there's even like base power consideration for certain things where it's like those like web like bundles. If you hit them with a move that's like weaker than 100 base power, it doesn't work. Like that kind of stuff is like, yo, and to their credit, not to their credit, Game Freak specifically, but to Pokemon Company's credit, this is an idea they already had elsewhere. Like I play Pokemon Ranger and I'm like, why do we have HMs? Why can I not just be like, okay, the way that you like wall off progression in a way that feels natural is say like, yeah, you have a Pidgey, but how's he going to fly you from here to there? He's a freaking Pidgey. Like he has to get bigger to fly you that far, or like, how you going to chop that tree down and all you got is a goddamn Caterpie, or a Weedle.
If there is ever a Pokemon game where it's like, hey, there's a gap here and you need someone to fly you across, we've done it. We've arrived at greatness. That's it.
That's all we need. Because it's like, I don't know if you saw any of this discourse, but there was like discourse that's like, I think I miss HMs. Legends ZA made me realize I miss HMs. And I'm like, how is that the conclusion that you had here?
They're so close to getting it. They're like so close. They want structure is what they want. And so it's just, it's funny. I don't know. Listen, maybe this time next year, you and I are going to be the luckiest boys in the world.
Yeah. we like, if it's what we want, we open this episode and we just look at each other for like the first 5 minutes, not saying a single word, eyebrows raised. Like
before Legends ZA, before anybody even knew what it was, you and I had conversations where and then it happened.
Yeah.
So
yes, and it's this whole thing where it's like I'm sure you had. I know we had them together. but separately of being like, yo, it would be pretty cool if this happened. And they're like, they can't do that. That's impossible. I think I would hate that actually. And then I'm like, I don't think so. And then here we are. And a lot of those people are like, actually, I think this is pretty fun. It's like, yeah, it turns out people that play video games know why they're fun. Like you got to play games that know why they're fun.
It's so crazy because like, everything that we were talking about and everything that we've wanted for so long about Pokemon before Legends ZA, it was kind of in this world of like, it's kind of impossible. It's never going to happen. And now we know they can do it. And that's what's crazy. It's like, oh fuck, we're in the new era now.
Because the thing that's funny is like my like trajectory on the internet is like my first video that I have ever made on youtube.com. I was like, yo, they should make Pokemon Legends EA. But the way that I was talking about, I was like, I don't know, man, maybe they could like do the option thing. Maybe they can like try it out or something. And the further I get on YouTube, I'm like, no. F that. Scorch Earth, burn everything down. We don't need it to be like it used to be. We're done with that. It's over. Like, it's over. And now they're giving me more and more of those things that I was like very sheepishly like, hey, maybe maybe overworld encounters. You know,
it's funny that Pokemon Champions thing. I'm like, there is nothing I want more than for Pokemon Champions to come out and it to be where everybody plays their silly turn-based game.
Yes. Yeah.
And I'm like, no, let me go. Good.
Please.
Congratulations.
And
it's yours.
I think
Enjoy.
that there's a lot of the like VGC hardcore fans are so delusional because they think that VGC is like this hidden gem that like people just need access to. The best selling the most valuable media property in the world in the history of entertainment, they just got this secret hidden gem, this hidden competitive scene that nobody knows about. It only gets blasted out to 30 million people that there's going to be a new tournament season every 2 months, but nobody knows about it. Like people are playing it because it's this hidden secret and nobody can afford it. You know, nobody's buying Pokemon games. It needs to be exposure. It needs the accessibility of a free game. So like when Champions comes out, you know, the competitive scene's going to explode, you know, because everybody's just dying to play competitive Pokemon in the way that it exists right now. They have it on their phones. People are dying for this.
God. I want you to know that I dug up an old tweet that, between you and I from January of 2024.
Yes.
And I was talking about what I wanted in a Smash Brothers game. And you said, still need a current gen Pokemon trainer. So I'm here for it. And we went back and forth. And later in the thread, I say a Pokemon action-based RPG that preserves team comp and type advantages while allowing you to pull upsets due to raw skill has been my dream game forever. You replied, I feel so seen. I've been screaming for this for years. And literally we go back and forth about this. And then there is a tweet from me, March 8th, 2025. We won.
Yo, it's funny because like that exchange, like I've known of you for a long time because of obvious reasons, right? We don't gotta talk about that. But like that exchange was like, yeah, man, I need to work with this dude. We need to make things, because very much so. Like again, I've been fighting this war, and like a lot of my audience, they get it, and like there's even been people that have had this trajectory where like initially they were resistant because you know they're Pokemon fans, they don't play other games that much, but then they either have watched me long enough or like they've played other games since then, and they're like, I get it, yes, I want that, right? So to have that exchange with you where it's like off rip, I don't gotta do the convincing. You're immediately like, I didn't even suggest that, you did. So for me to not introduce that to the conversation was so new that I was like, oh nah. We absolutely.
Listen, it's the post ZA era. We're living in it.
We are.
Feels good.
It feels very good. This is not a smooth transition, but the last thing that I want to talk about.
Yeah, please.
Is this Nintendo app?
The new one?
Why? But
yeah, it's funny, right? So I think like it has a different name in Japan, and I think the name it has in Japan makes more sense.
What's the name in Japan?
Yeah, I can't remember now. It's gone. I remember seeing it though, and I was like, oh, it made sense.
So I tweeted about it, and I was like, why this, right? Like, I think the app is good. Why, right? And somebody replied and was essentially like, I think that it's because of like demographic. Like, it's like they don't want the kid to have the store app on their phone, which I think does make sense. But but I think that the way that this app is configured alongside their other apps, those apps do not align with that. You know, because like, why wouldn't a kid want to see how long they played their Wii U video games? You know, I think that that's like a thing that you say at the lunch table where it's like, well, I played Breath of the Wild this long, you know?
So so the app for in America is called the Nintendo Store app. In Japan, it's the My Nintendo app.
That makes more sense.
They're so weird. And the thing that bugs me about this Nintendo Store app is that you actually can't access the Nintendo Store. It just takes you to a browser. So like, okay. So my favorite functionality on the Nintendo Store browser is that you can go to a game that you own, you can go to your virtual cards, and you can tell your game to download to your Switch while it's asleep. That is awesome. That is great functionality. I'm sure you do it too. I do it on my PlayStation all the time.
Yes.
The fact that you can't do that in this app is like comical to me. I'm like, I
didn't know that you couldn't do that. The one thing that I did,
to the web browser.
Like, so it didn't even work. It didn't even work for me because this was a very specific instance. But something that I do often, and I'm sure you do, with like when a developer sends me a code or whatever, I try against all faith to bookmark the eShop redemption site. And it always it always bookmarks, like the bookmark gets broken inexorably. It always happens eventually. So I saw that this has a hyperlink to the bookmark thing. I mean, to what I always try to bookmark. It's like, oh, cool. It's sick. I have a dedicated redeem code button. I press that. I redeem the Pokemon Shield DLC code that I got off of GameStop. But because of how GameStop administers the Sword and Shield DLC code, I can't even redeem it there because you have to specifically do it from a console, because on the console you put the code in and then that directs you to a store page that lets you pick which of the two DLCs you want. And apparently the web browser version does not allow for that functionality. So the one part of it that I was like, this is a cool part of this app, apart from the player activity thing, which I am curious what your most played game is, or even your top 4 most played games. So we could get to that after I finish this little anecdote. But I did that and I was like, it didn't even do that. Right?
Yeah.
And I like bits and pieces of all these apps. But I think the execution of all of them is not good enough. It's like, I like the Nintendo Today app because it's something that I want for myself so badly, to be able to be better organized with like, okay, this game's coming out, so this is my content schedule to coincide with the game that I am currently playing and when I should transition to the next thing that I want to talk about. Like right now, I had to like on the fly be like, all right, ZA's coming out. I think I'm gonna make 4 videos for ZA. I'm gonna make the right before the game comes out, right after, response to that video, and then my final thoughts, and then I'm on to Kirby, right? My hope for the Nintendo Today app with its calendar was like, I want to be able to like plan that in that way, but the way that the calendar app works does not let me fully do that. It just sort of lets you import releases, and it's very strange. I don't use the Nintendo Music app. I don't know how you are with video game music, but I don't listen to video game music outside of when I'm playing a video game.
Sorry. I know that makes me uncultured swine. I'm sorry. I'm not interested.
Wait, so you two are uncultured? Because to me, if left to my own devices, literally, I'm turning on To Pimp a Butterfly. I don't want to listen to freaking Sticker Brush Symphony or whatever.
What I will say is, the few times that I have gone over into the Nintendo Music app and have started listening to stuff, it has alarmed me how higher quality the music is when compared to actually hearing the music in the game.
Right. Because compression.
And I've been like, I know. And I've been like, dude, maybe I'd be more attached to the music in your games
If
if it
it,
had
if
all
it,
these
yeah.
extra notes.
Mhm,
Okay.
mhm.
I feel like I unlocked extra notes via DLC. It's like, oh, I'm getting the rest of the music now. Oh
That's
man.
possible, but I think I would be
Yeah.
angry if they did that and then like instead of being 7 GB, Pokemon Legends EA was 20 GB. You
Yeah, that's
know,
interesting. Yeah.
like because that's a lot of it. It's like whenever people say that's why I hate the discourse where I don't know if you saw this with Kirby Air Riders versus Mario Kart, where it's like this game is smaller than Air Riders, and it's like yeah, that's probably because they didn't compress the music in Kirby Air Riders. Like, it's
Yeah, and
not,
Mario Kart World has 6 billion music tracks in it.
yeah, yes.
Like, it's like, yeah, I don't.
Yes. So yeah, that's what that is. But as far as I think the app is cool. I just wish that they better consolidated the contents of all of their apps. I think that they really only need like what, 3 apps maybe? 3 apps is fine.
Yeah, that's funny. Like, which one do I even use?
I don't use any of these apps except for I use the Nintendo Switch app because that's how
for
I
the
get
photos.
my screenshots. Yes, my screenshots and my videos. And
Yep.
like just a glance, if I don't have my Switch, I'm like, is anybody playing anything that I might want to play with them? I'll glance at that
Yeah,
sometimes. But apart from that, I really just use it to get screenshots and video recordings, which is useful. Now
It is useful. It's actually really nice. Yeah.
I use the Nintendo Today app, but like that fluctuates. Because it's like yeah, exactly.
You use it because you are forced to.
Yes.
Like that is it.
Exactly,
Yeah,
exactly. It's not like I like want to engage with this. It's because I have to. I don't know why people act like I see a lot of these memes that like include the parental controls app in this like this Nintendo has too many apps thing where it's like this isn't like having the Adobe Creative Suite. You don't need to install the parental controls app. You don't got to do that actually. Like if you don't
that's actually a good one to like have separate too, I think. Actually.
Yeah, it's like, because it's parental controls, but it's like the most optional one that they have, I think, if you're not a parent.
Yeah, I think so too.
And also the like one use case that a lot of people that are not parents used to use it for, they have since rectified because it's in the My Nintendo app or the Nintendo Store app, and that was to track your player activity, because the way that the Switch does it, it like caps it at like 20 games at a time or something like that, and apparently the parental controls app doesn't cap it in the same way. But now even that is like you don't need it if you're not a parent. You don't need that app, so we could get rid of that one. I think we could get rid of the Nintendo Today app. I think you could turn the Nintendo Switch app and the My Nintendo app into one app. I don't see why they need to be 2 separate apps. I think Nintendo Music, My Nintendo, and Nintendo Switch could be one, and then parental controls, 3 apps. That's what they need.
I can only assume that Nintendo simply has a strategy and somebody sat down and said, we should have more apps on their phones. Like that is all you know what I mean? I don't know enough about that scene to tell you how that's advantageous to them. But I am sure that there is something where they're like, if we can get another app with this many downloads on the store, the App Store, that benefits us in some way. You know what I mean?
I think they care a lot about stickiness. I think they are very like, yeah, we're Coca-Cola, but we're still going to spend millions of dollars on advertisement. You know what Coca-Cola is, but like when you see Coca-Cola, you might want one. I think that's what they want. Right. I think they want as many times that you open your phone to be like, you could see Nintendo if you scroll over here, you know?
Right.
I could see that being the thing. I could also see, although I am less, I don't believe this as much just because the way that they carry themselves as a company doesn't like align with this that much. It also looks good for stakeholders to be like, we have this many app users on this many apps, but I don't think they care that much about that. I think that they are the most like likely company to tell their stakeholders, we just don't want to do that. Actually, like we know y'all want us to invest heavily in AI. We actually hate AI. Actually, smiley face. You know, like that kind of stuff. I think that they're the most, not the most, but in their space, they're the most principled out of all of them in that regard. So I couldn't see that being their reason.
Yeah, I also think that sometimes people just have jobs that are a little stupid.
Yes.
And it's like, hey, what have you guys been working on? Like,
Yes.
It's like, this is what we got. Yeah. So, it's whatever.
I got this app. So yeah, I don't know. It's a decent app, but we don't need it. We need. I think we need this app, but we don't need the other app. The other apps could be consolidated into this app. This was a good decision. The other ones are not.
Right.
And I think that's all I had, man.
Do you want to hear about my top games?
Oh yeah. Let me know. I can tell you mine.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Let's do number one first. Number one.
Okay, wait. Let me open mine so I can.
Yeah.
Okay. You can tell me your number one because I already know
number
what my
one,
number one is.
It's got to be Super Smash Brothers Ultimate.
Yes.
By far.
Yes.
By far.
Yeah,
no question.
Super Smash Brothers Ultimate is literally my most played game ever on a Nintendo platform ever. Any platform, honestly.
Yeah. Same here, no doubt. And I gotta say, I think this is unscientific, but I think it is probably the most I have ever played a game in one day. When I scroll back down to the game the day it was released, that number is frankly shocking for me.
What's the number?
12 hours and 45 minutes.
You know what's funny?
I've never done anything like this in my life.
So this actually ties this episode together really well because we spun back to Pokemon a lot. Yeah. A lot of Smash Ultimate for me and why I got it really invested is because A, I am a competitive person. B, I care a lot about the Pokemon universe. I like Pokemon a lot, right?
Yeah.
That's why I like Smash Ultimate so much because Pokemon Trainer is actually good and well designed.
Yes.
Right?
Yep.
So that's my most played game by far. It's not even close.
By far.
My second most played game, and you're going to hate this. It's Pokemon Scarlet. That's
mine as well. We have the same.
Funny. That's hilarious. That is my second most played game. My third most played game. What's your third most played game?
Pokemon Sword.
Literally.
Okay.
Pokemon Sword. Right, that's my second most played game. And then my fourth most played game is Super Smash Brothers for Wii U.
Wow. No, that is way much lower for me.
Yeah, that was pretty high for me because that was like the like tease of me getting into competitive Smash because like I always cared about Smash, but I never really cared about competitive. So I was just like the friend that's the best in my friend group. Smash 4 was like the first like hint at like, oh no, I could just be good at this game, So it almost got there. And then my fifth most played game. I'm interested in yours first. What's yours?
Okay.
Did you say what your fourth was? What's your fourth?
No, yeah. So my fourth. This I find to be frankly disturbing. I don't know how this happened. My fourth most played game is Fortnite.
That's funny. I don't even think.
How did this happen?
I think I played Fortnite for a few minutes on Nintendo. I have played Fortnite for a decent amount on my PlayStation because my friends like Fortnite. But I have since sworn off Fortnite. Because usually I throw them a bone. I'm like, all right, you guys can pick one game that I play. I will be social with one game that you guys want. But now I'm like, nah, we all got Switch 2s. Y'all could come to me now.
So my thing is that I've always had like PlayStations and stuff. I can't believe I did this much on the Switch. Yeah. The Switch 1. I don't know what was going on.
Was it like a video thing or something?
No, definitely not. I just liked it. I think to be completely honest, do
you play Fortnite handheld?
To be totally vulnerable, I think that I got on Fortnite on the Switch and I realized it was matching me with other people playing on the Switch, and I think I liked the power trip.
Okay.
I think I felt that I was playing with children and I was better on Switch than I was on PlayStation, so I kept playing there.
Okay.
Yeah.
You should feel bad about yourself for that.
I know it's embarrassing. What's number 5? I think we might have the same number 5.
It's a high possibility. Do you want to know mine first, or should you want to?
Yeah, tell me.
Mine's Breath of the Wild.
Mine's Breath of the Wild.
That is hilarious. So our top 5 is literally the same except for 4.
Except for 1. Yep.
I was saying number 4, but yeah.
Yeah.
We could do top 10. I think our top 10 will diverge a lot.
Okay, 6. This is a surprise. Splatoon 2.
6 for me is Pokemon Unite.
That's crazy. Wow. Okay.
Yep. This one
7 is Arceus.
This one, Pokemon Unite specifically, that's similar to Fortnite in the sense that like I play it because my friends like it, and I'm like, yeah, I'm down. I'll do. I like Pokemon.
okay.
Sure, why not? Wait, what are we on? 7?
So mine's 7 is Arceus.
You said your number 6 was Splatoon 2?
Yep.
My number 7 is Splatoon 1.
Crazy. Okay, see, you were much kinder to your Wii U than I was. I despised my Wii U, so I just could not put the time in.
That's fair. I like Splatoon a lot, and I wished that Splatoon came out in freaking 2012. I think that Wii U would have had a completely different life if its 2014 was actually its 2012. Yeah. But that's a different story entirely.
I know we will not have the same number 8. This one will not be the same.
What's your number 8?
My number 8 is Pokemon Moon for the 3DS.
It's not that different. Mine is Pokemon Alpha Sapphire.
Oh, that's okay. No, that's actually crazy. All right. Yeah, we're right there. That's fun.
And then my number 10 is Splatoon 2.
Oh, see, I'm like embarrassed about this. It's like Mario Kart 8 Deluxe.
That's funny. I don't know where Mario Kart.
No, that was Game Explained. That wasn't me. That was Game Explained.
Gotcha.
Making stupid videos. Yeah.
Interesting tidbit. My number 11 is Animal Crossing New Horizons.
Okay, so here's the most interesting data point here. 4, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. My number 12 is Legends ZA.
Yeah, hold on. I gotta freaking 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. My number 15 is Legends ZA.
Yeah, so there you go. Like that to you know, just to say something about like how much I've been enjoying this game. That's like, you know.
I tweeted out earlier, like last week, I think, maybe early this week. I did my total time side by side, and I literally have more time in Arceus than in this game than I had in Arceus. And like it even said, like it says the last time I played Arceus was 2023. And that was like my whole thing of like this game. I hate this game because I think that one of the best things about Pokemon is that like the amount of time you can put into it, how flexible Pokemon is, where it's like it gives back what you give to it. And Arceus is the most stingy game of every Pokemon game by far.
Yeah. And which is a part of the reason why I like it, to be honest with you. I like that it ends. It's so I get it. I understand. It's like what you want out of it. But yeah, I mean, looking at the numbers, Legends Arceus was my 4, 5, 6, 7, and with the DLC in Legends ZA, I think before the end of the year, Legends ZA will pass Arceus as in that spot. So, yeah, I mean that's, you know, because how many hours am I gonna get out of the DLC? If I get 20 hours out of it, then there you go. ZA rather is gonna be like approaching my top 5. So
I was talking to my friend Trev earlier today, literally, or was it yesterday? It might have been yesterday. Where I was like, I think that with the DLC, there's a chance that I might double my Arceus playtime, like this year.
That's the thing. It's like it depends on the how that gameplay works, right? Because if it's just something that we can keep doing and it stays fun, but even without it, it's like, dude, the online, like
I'm just already having and there's like the chance that like even with the rank that we have right now, it could change. They reserve the right to change the rules in various ways, and their messaging says as much. Where it's like there's 6 slots on the teams, so we don't even know if it's always going to be 3v3.
Yeah, that's a good point. Actually,
it could be 6v6, it could be 1v1, it could be 4v4.
Yeah,
you know, and we don't know. They could add another mode that's like 1v1 trainer battles, 6v6 Pokemon. You know, like there's so many things that they could do in theory that I think a lot of them could have huge gameplay hour implications. So we'll see.
Cool. I like it. Well, this was great. Thank you for having me on.
Anytime, man. Everybody go follow Jake on all the things. I am going to at least link your YouTube. I think your YouTube has everything in the about page, right? If it doesn't have everything, you tell me what I should link that links everything. Because that's what I usually...
Honest to God, this is so lame. My favorite thing is like my website. I like my website. I
will link your website.
Yeah, I'm most proud of like my writing.
Yes,
so
I was aware of that. I was going to put that in the intro bit. I haven't written that yet.
Yeah,
but I just usually do the YouTube because the about page usually has everybody's everything. But I'm glad that you told me that it's your website that has your everything. So I'll put that in the like parenthetical of like Jake for the podcast services and whatnot. So click that, go to all his things, read his reads and whatnot.
Yeah.
Later, y'all.